Bonjour, dear members of the Bureau of Maritime Design. I call upon you again to help me choose the ships that will form the backbone of the French Navy in the years to come. Now, these designs are from 1907, but that doesn't mean we can't start building them before that, or maybe we'll have to wait until after that, depending on when technology becomes available. We have 4 options already designed, and we're going to design the 5th one now. But first, I want to show you the options that have already been made. First up is the Gloire. Now, this is based on the same general hull design as the René Magritte, not a dreadnought, that we already have. We've built a few of. So this can actually be built right now in the campaign. I'm in 1905 at the moment. The videos, I think, are still in 1904. There are a couple more that I haven't uploaded yet. But also, I'm going to be going away for a couple of days, so I'll have some stuff going up at the regular schedule, so you won't be left without anything to watch. Now, this ship is armed with 15-inch guns. These are Mark IIs. Currently in the campaign, I only have 15-inch up to Mark I, but they're going to be a Mark II soon enough. So this could be built as is, just with Mark I main guns, and then refit after launch. That's possible. Advantages of this design, other than it being possible to build right now: relatively cheap, 361 million, 362 basically, is a lot for early 1900s maybe, compared to the 1890s ships especially, but it's cheaper than the other options I've made, so it's not bad. It has a decent secondary armament, 7-inch guns, so it could defend itself. It's not it doesn't have to rely on a pre-dreadnought to keep it safe from close-in attacks, like some other ships. It has pretty decent armor. Not sure if Krupp 1 will be available when these ships are laid down, but it's an option that will soon be teched up. So that's something. There's a certain degree of future-proofing with this design. I'm pretty sure the Mark III 15-inch guns will also fit. The Mark IVs definitely not, because they're huge. They got those huge square turrets, but that's far in the future, so that's nothing to worry about right now. I think these 15-inch guns can handle things quite well. Disadvantages: resistance, not the greatest, but that's, the other options, not great resistance either. Minus 32% gun damage is not terrible, though. Tower stats are pretty bad, and this is the best available tower for this hull. I think some better towers will be available in the future as refit options, and they are available here in the ship designer and the share design ship designer. Not sure exactly when they'll be available, so that could be an option. So that's option number 1, Gloire. This will take 18 months to build. That's not bad. And it's not too heavy either. Of course, that doesn't help it with naval invasions. You want the displacement for that. Second option is, let's see here, Flandre. Now this requires the Dreadnought 1 hull to be researched, but I'll get that in a couple months anyway, so that's not a big deal. Resistance is actually even lower than Gloire. Actually, I was wrong. I think this is the one with the highest resistance. Now that I think about it. The tower is a little bit better. Not amazing base or long range accuracy, but it's got better tower spotting. It has some pretty heavy secondary firepower with these 8.5-inch guns mounted here. This is an ABXY turret layout. So it does require me to have like 4 centerline turrets unlocked. Unless I want to cheese it and have some of the turrets like slightly off-centered using side turrets. That's possible. These are 13.5s. We got these on some of our pre-dreadnought battleships already. They're pretty decent guns. Yeah, and they're going to be the first one to be Mark IIIs out of the very big guns. So that's nice. Armor, pretty good. This should be safe from its own guns. Let's see. Quick math here. Like 17 inches, roughly equal. Yeah, 5,000 meters, roughly. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Now, the third option, of course, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than Gloire. What's the maintenance? Almost 24 million a month. So, it's getting up there in price. Third option is Renault. Based on the Dreadnought 2 hull, that will also soon be researched. It's faster than the others. It's got more armor than the other options. This is the heaviest armored ship out of the bunch. It's got the same 13.5-inch guns, but it's got more of them. Same broadside, though, as Flandre. So you only get 8 guns per broadside. But this does not require me to tech up the 4 centerline turrets tech. Well, this is an option. This is also the most expensive one. 509 million and 27 million per month maintenance cost. So my thinking is, if any of these 3 are chosen, I'm going to build 2 in Europe and 2 in Asia. Actually, if this is chosen, it's cheaper. Might build more. We'll see. We'll see about the budget. But at least 4 will be built. The fourth option is a little bit different. This is not a battleship, it's a battlecruiser, which is a strange concept that I, living in 1905, have never heard of before. But this is what the researchers came up with. It's got less armor than the other options, but it's got 14-inch guns. So, not the heaviest guns, that would be Gloire, but having 8 of them, I think it has the heaviest broadside. It's also faster, being a battlecruiser, and it's not too expensive. Actually, it's the cheapest one, even cheaper than Gloire. But it is very fragile. Less than 50 resistance, so it doesn't get any gun damage reduction at all. In fact, it gets a plus 0.7% gun damage received. But the tower is really, really, really good. So speed and firepower, is this thing's deal. Now the plan with this would be to build 4 of them and have them stationed in, I think Alexandria, or whatever it is, the one in the Suez Canal, so that they can quickly move to either the European theater or the Asian theater of war, based on where I need them. Because they got the range to move around, they got the speed to move around. And if 4 of these are built there, I might also get a couple of these just to fill in where they're needed. So this is going to be like a mobile strike force, accompanied by some cruisers, I guess, but not a like huge, powerful main battle fleet, but something to send where I need them. Now, let's go for the 5th option, which will be either a battleship or a battlecruiser. We're not building light or heavy cruisers today. Now, it's tempting to just go for the biggest dreadnought hull. And there are a bunch of towers here available that will not be available in the campaign. So we're just going to have to ignore those. That is... This tower straight up doesn't fit. Yeah, some of these refit options just do not fit. How about if I... or is this a refit option, or... will it be... Nah, it's probably not available from the start. Neither is this one. Can it be fit in the future, though? How fat do you have to be to make that work? Like, none of these towers fit, actually. Makes you wonder why they are available as options. These ones do fit. The 9.5 base, 10.5 long range. Or 6.5 base, 13 long range. 19 night vision. 34 night vision. And this one has better tower spotting as well. So I think that's the tower we're going to go with. Now this has turned out to be very fat, this ship. And it's not how it'd be that fat, it's kind of ugly. I think like that, maybe? That should work. Now, secondary towers, it's the same story. A lot of these... oh, that fits up there for some... Wow, okay. That looks decent, actually. Let's just find one that's not too wide so it doesn't look too weird. How about that one? Yeah, I'm not sure if these are going to be available in the campaign, though. The rebuild towers. I think they're like towers that will be available sometime in the future. This one should be available from the start. So let's go with that one. And just keep in mind that we can get some cool stuff in the future. Same with the funnels. Obviously, these like very modern funnels here are not going to be available in 1905 or whenever. Now, the thin enhanced funnel has a better funnel cap than the tall ones. outfit 2 of them here? How about the slightly smaller one? It's very finicky with the funnel placement on this one. How about I place that secondary tower down there? And then go for like 18 funnel cap versus 10.5. You'd think that this huge one would be like the best funnel, but apparently not. Can I not fit 3 of these? No matter where or how I turn them. No. But 3 of these should be possible, yes. A little bit like aft heavy with the funnels there, but it's either that or have them at different heights, because that's a raised platform. So with that out of the way, let's go 21 knots. Max optimal speed of this is 22. Now, coal or obviously semi-oil will be the best. It saves a bunch of weight. A lot of weight, actually. But I'm not sure when I'll get that researched. So let's design it with coal in mind for now, and just keep in mind that in the future we can refit it with semi-oil. Like that's an option that will be available. Now I'm thinking something along the lines of Gloire with the 15-inch guns. Are we centered here? Looks like it. 15 is the maximum that we can put on this. Can you turn here? Where's that tower in the way? No, you're fine. But here, back here, we have a problem. Thought it, and I thought I had something, something nice here with this tower. So we're putting this back up here again. And we are making do with 2 funnels. Like so. Or could we actually go 3? If this one fits. It's not that much taller, but I think it looks like weird. So I'd like to not have it there. Come on. Let me have you centered, please. Now you work. Good. So, ABXY turret layout, which is my favorite. That's kind of what I revert to almost every time. Now, 8 or 7-inch guns as secondaries. Now, the 8-inch guns obviously do a lot more damage. They got slightly more range, slightly more pen. But they're also quite a bit more, quite a bit heavier than the 7-inch guns. I do think they, like the size makes them look better though for this application. 7-inch guns would just look a little bit too small for these like side turret mounts there. So we'll go with the 8s for now. Electric steering, we got that one researched. And Citadel 2 for now. Cordite 1. Now, dreadnoughts is also an option. It's a little bit more powerful than TNT-1. How much worse? It's actually not that much worse. 45%. Or 42.5%. Flashfire chance. TNT-1 also has a much like better ammo detonation chance. And flashfire spreading. That's also something to keep in mind. Dreadnought is a little bit more likely that things will go wrong. And when they do, they go very, very wrong compared to TNT-1. But it's also a little bit more powerful, right? What's the weight? TNT-1 also reduces hull weight. It's like a 300-ton difference. It's not a huge difference, but let's go TNT-1, just to be on the safe side. Not have this explode. Rangefinder. Let's do stereoscopic 1. Not sure how soon I'm going to get stereoscopic 2, but I know I have stereo 1. So now we have 5,000 tons to spend on armor, so we could make this fairly safe. Make those 8-inch guns a little bit bigger. That's pretty decent. Yeah, we can pick apart some cruisers with these. That's good. Let's do like a distributed armor scheme. What kind of deck pen can we expect from these? 3.5 inches. I have done some editing to the penetration file to give the guns a little bit more deck penetration. So yeah, already Mark II and decent deck pen at max range. So we might have to add some more armor to that main deck. So we're looking at 17 effective for the belt armor. Which means that we can pen our own armor at 10,000 meters. And there we go, overweight. Yeah, that should be like roughly 3 inches. So we can get deck penetrations at max range, but these 8-inch turrets will need some decent protection as well. Alright, so we are way overweight. And try reducing speed. 20 knots is what our existing battleships are doing. So that will just have to be enough. Yes, the fore and aft belts will have to be reduced. They weigh a lot. Now there is a penetration modifier for hitting turrets as well. So 15 is actually more than 15 inches effective. A little bit more. It's not a huge modifier. Ooh. What now then? Reduce the width a little bit. It's a pretty long ship. Come on, can I place you? Maybe? You just fit. Damn you. Okay, so I can't have that further forwards. Something about the hitbox, can't put it like further up there. Yeah, we're quite a bit overweight, which is a little bit annoying. Regular hydraulic turrets have to sacrifice on turret traverse, and we don't even have that much in the way of secondary armament. Might have to reduce that main belt a little bit, but even that is not enough. Do we have to go with 14s instead of 15s? I really wanted 15s for this. Like early take on the pre-dreadnought, on the super dreadnought, I meant. Let's do some comparisons here. Let's add the same armor. Yeah, we're saving like 200 tons per turret. Ammo weight is not a big difference. This one goes through 18 inches of belt armor at 10,000 meters versus 15.5. But if we can't, I guess we can also reduce the bulkheads down to many. With semi-oil, it works, of course. But that's a question of having semi-oil available. So, yeah, reducing the bulkheads and reducing the anti-torp. And then slightly whittling away the armor could be an idea. There. And then, once semi-oil is researched, give it a refit, save a bunch of weight, add some more armor back on. That's an option. 414 million. But that is with crew training, by the way. It's going to be cheaper in the campaign. That goes for all of them. I like adding some crew training to the shared assigned ships because maybe I want to use them in a custom battle, you know. So it will be cheaper than that. Even with crew training at cadets, that is costing some money, isn't it? Yeah, 50,000. No, that's 50 million. Never mind. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but right. So we're without crew training carried in, we're looking at 250 million actually. That's not too bad. I'm assuming this one will be maybe 200 something million. That's really not bad. Right. We'd like to have some more secondary armaments on this, of course. Not just the 8-inch guns, but maybe some... we squeeze some 5-inch guns in here somewhere. If we put that there, it doesn't really impact the... it slightly impacts the firing arcs of the 8-inch guns. I don't want to put anything here or here, because that's going to be directly in the line of fire. But in between here, because these turrets are already blocking each other. So this here is free space for secondaries. I thought it was, but I was wrong. This here is free space for secondaries. A little bit wonky, but it'll have to do. Like any other places I can squeeze these in? Slightly impacting the arcs of fire for that 8-inch gun, but it's not too bad. Now, let's drop those and go for 4-inch Mark III. Not sure if I'm going to have those. 3-inch Mark III, I think we already have. We're not far off from getting them. We can put 8-inch casemates here. I think that's maybe a little bit too much. Yeah. So it will have to be built with a fewer bells and whistles. But once semi-oil is available, it can be made pretty decent, I think. Let's just save it as this, and this is option 5. This does not leave a lot of money left in the budget for battlecruisers, at least not right away. But we'll get there eventually. So yeah, to reiterate, Gloire can be built pretty much right away. It's a pretty decent take on a dreadnought / small super dreadnought. Flandre, very classical early dreadnought design. Carnot, a little bit bigger, almost approaching super dreadnought, but not really. It doesn't offer more broadside firepower than Flandre, but it does have more armor. Furieux, named after an armored cruiser, which I guess you haven't seen that far yet, and never mind. Revolutionary battlecruiser can form the basis of a like a mobile strike force, but probably too fragile to be like the mainstay in a line of battle, as it were. And then this thing, which is essentially a super dreadnought. And we almost have the technology to make it. So, I'll leave the choice up to you. Goodbye, and take care.